back up in this thing, ready to get some on that wax.
Another session with the bros. BrosTalk. Where the beer's ice cold. BrosTalk. Another session with the bros. BrosTalk. Come and tell us what you know. BrosTalk.
Yo, what up, world? What up, peoples and tweeples out there? Excuse me, it's your boy T Broski. I got my main man Corey in the building with me. Hey, this is BrosTalk.
Yeah.
I wish I could take my shirt off to show you the gains, but it doesn't matter. How you doing today, brother?
I thought you said the gangs. I was like, damn, you call them gangs? Like,
Nah, this is the gains.
yeah,
GAINS.
yeah. My bad. No, I'm doing good though, man. I'm doing good. Ready for the weekend. Uh, yeah, Ready to talk about some of this stuff, man.
Damn, you just want to jump right in? You don't even.
No. I'm just saying I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, damn, you ready? You ready? I thought you said you're ready for the weekend and you're ready for the topics.
I'm ready for everything.
Okay.
Ready
So
for
this
life.
is Jesus. So this is what we would call a not an emergency podcast, but it is a podcast that we felt needed to be done due to some of the recent comments. And my day was pretty good, pretty good. Outside of everything, I'll tell you this, we just started our TikTok, and our TikTok actually got flagged today because of the latest video that I put up.
Like the video got flagged?
No, the whole TikTok got flagged. Like they're not recommending our page anymore because of the latest video. It's the only thing I can assume is because I posted plenty of other videos and nothing's happened. But this last video, it seemed like there was an issue and we were flagged. Hey, it is what it is. I definitely appealed it. And we'll see what happens. So, say all that just to say, that's the reason why we're having this this podcast today, based on that topic and those comments that's based around it. So, I'll say this. Certain times when you watch our shorts here at BrosTalk Podcast, I'm not saying take it as a grain of salt, but understand that there's a full video that comes with that, right? And sometimes to get context of what we're really speaking about, you have to watch the full video. It seems like sometimes things get taken out of context, or things just, people just, people believe whatever they believe about whatever somebody says, and they run with that idea and that ideology, right? Yeah. And I can't fault nobody for that. But only thing as a producer, as a creator, as a somebody that this is my baby. This is me. This is what I wanted to do. This is me involving my homeboys and everything like that. So like this is for me. I just say wait till the full video comes out, and then if you want to pass judgment or whatever, do it then. I don't care, right? But ultimately, that's what we're here for. So there was a few comments left after our last video, last short video, whatever like that. It was a few comments left, and for lack of better words, they came directly at you, Corey. And
to be fair, most of the clip was me talking, so
it
would have been really weird if they would have been like, "Who's that motherfucker over there? That quiet motherfucker not saying nothing."
Yeah, true. You're right.
But yeah. It's a sensitive topic, so I kind of expected it, but some of the comments still just, I don't know. It reminded me, one, that like it's a big ass world, man. There's a lot of different perspectives out there.
Fact.
And you may think like, oh yeah, everyone thinks this way, or this is common knowledge. Me and my other half have that conversation all the time where I'm like, babe, this is common knowledge. She's like, not for me. Like, you have to understand, like, and it took me a while to figure it out. Like, common knowledge isn't necessarily common knowledge. Like, everyone has their own versions of common knowledge based on how they grew up, right?
Yeah.
So for you, like, oh yeah, that's common knowledge to do that. And it's like, well, me growing up, I never had to do that, or vice versa. So I don't know. I just feel like a lot of times that, to be honest, I kind of lost my train of thought. Uh, I forgot where I was going. I got so focused on the one thing that I got distracted. I should have stopped drinking, or shouldn't have started drinking until halfway through the podcast.
Well, it doesn't matter because I remember. So
At least
topic
one of us do.
wise, we're gonna address some of these comments that were left behind this video, and I'll post some of them, or I don't know how it's gonna be, but you'll see some of them on the screen.
Right here.
One, I don't know if it's here or here
No,
or
you got
here
to put it right here.
or here. I don't know, but one of them was that. Let me see. One of them was that there was a operation called. Excuse me. The dude wrote August. Look up August
53, I think it was.
August 19, 1953. Ajax wanted U.S. wanted control of the oil. And I looked it up. Corey looked it up too. We had a discussion off camera about it, and excuse me, not necessarily about the operation, but more along the lines of looking it up so we have an understanding of what's going on today, or what we're talking about today. Do you remember what you said in that particular video? The short that was dropped?
I know we were talking about uh, all the different people that Iran has killed in like different situations that Iran, like bombing or during the Iraq War type of thing.
Yeah. So, well, that was another comment. Since we're here, we'll just say that one too, and we'll just address them as we go. We were talking about, you brought up Iran, but was referencing the Iraq War. So let's just start
Yeah.
there. We all understand what's going on with Iran, Israel, and the involvement of the USA and potential other countries at this particular point. I mean, damn it, that episode hasn't dropped yet. You know what I mean? But by the time you see this, you're gonna binge see that
Yeah.
episode. But
Yeah.
we spoke about this before. I don't. Do you agree with the war? Let's are the military actions that's going on in Iran? Do you agree with it? Let's start there.
It's tough, man. It's hard for me to say like directly yes or no because I feel like I said last time, there's definitely, you know, people that I feel like can be helped, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it's a little bit overstepping what the president should be doing. And that even though it's been set in precedent by so many other presidents, it's still, I don't agree with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tend to, feel like we should have a little bit more. But then again, if you do that, you lose the element of surprise, and because you're going to have to pass the whole thing through Congress, so they're going to know you're about to attack them. So I don't know. It's hard, and then all the innocent people that hopefully, you know, will be given a better life if things go the way that hopefully they go. At this point, I don't know. I definitely can understand why someone would say they're for it, and I can understand why someone would say they're against it. Um, so I don't know. What about you?
I don't agree with it at all. Right. I think I personally feel like I understand the political powers at play, but I definitely understand also what things America has done too, right? And I think you have to take that into context when you're talking about today's climate, especially in the Middle East. right? You have to understand what has been done back then to track why it's so quote unquote violent now, right? And I don't think that this is something that we should have got involved in. I think these wars that's going on over there has been going on a long time, and I don't think everybody wants democracy or diplomacy. I don't think every country wants what we quote unquote have in our country, and I don't think we're the world police to even go around, you know, implementing or enforcing diplomacy or democracy around every country. Like Sharia law is that shit is that has nothing to do with us. That shit was created by them, for them, and for you know what I mean. It was FUBU for them, straight up. For you, by us. That shit was for them, straight up. And that
Yeah.
has nothing to do with us. So if it's something that we don't, if it's something that we don't agree with, I'm not saying turn a blind eye to it, but at the same time, maybe it doesn't require your involvement. You know what I mean? And excuse me, the deeper you dig within these situations, you have to understand that America's done. You you slap a lot of people. You spit in a lot of people's face. You step on a lot of people's shoes, and then you walk down the road and act higher than. And then when they start throwing rocks at you and treating you as such, or not even necessarily you as they because they can't get to you. You know what I mean? As a continent, the only way to get to you, you have to let them into you. And that's the beautiful part about America. Like a sleeper cell only exists in America because we allowed them into our country to a certain extent. And I say that to a degree of,
Yeah.
in order for somebody from the Middle East to get to America, you either come in by boat or plane. You ain't walking across the Rio Grande. So
Right.
the real enemies that we have is in not the people that's across the Rio Grande, is what I'm saying. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. But anyway,
Right. Or the
those
Atlantic.
the Atlantic, you can say the Rio Grande, whatever. But those people that are the real quote unquote terroristic threats, the Osama bin Laden's, the 9/11 doers, like those people, it takes a lot for them to get here. So I say that to say you have to let those people within your ranks to a certain extent. But that's how generous America is. We're allowing people to come into our country and quote unquote advance. Some people come over here with different agendas. But when you slap everybody in the face and shit on everybody and step on everybody's shoes, you have to understand that there might be somebody that has a problem with what you've done. And if you don't
Right.
do your due diligence or your research to find out, then you may not understand why people have a chant that says death to America. Like, that's a real thing. You know what I mean? So when you were referencing Iraq war, Afghanistan war, and you were talking about Iranian things or Iranians were doing things to America, what were you
Right.
talking about? You know, because that's one of the problems that people had. They said that they're talking about one part of things, and do you not understand? This is another thing. I'll just say this real quick. Is this is how crazy America is? Do you understand that it's not Iran, it's Iran, it's Iran,
Yeah.
it's Iran?
Iran.
But
Yeah.
we look at it as Iran. Okay, boom. That's how disrespectful we are.
'Cause it is what we say it is, damn it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's how disrespectful. But when you were referencing that, so you do believe in I'm not saying do believe, but you were referencing that Iranian had attacks against America in that, or they supported the Iraq, the Taliban, the Islamic movement, or the Islamic State in that particular war or operation, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they supported, material, training, their militias and stuff like that, providing weapons against troops. What else? I just pulled up this thing. Um, Explosively performed penetrators, IEDs. Like they got a lot of those weapons from Iran. So if you go to the Pentagon, this. So it's not like just some random website. Like the Pentagon is one who says 603 U.S. troops were killed. It was 608, but they revised it down to 603 because I guess I don't know why. But ultimately, just in those 8 years, you're talking 603 troops were killed by Iran. And that's like, it's not even the only example. Like, there's all kinds of examples of Americans being killed over the last 30 years. Now, I think I understand why you wanted to lead with the other question first to kind of explain like the history first.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so now when we talk about, this, it makes sense, like when you know the history, because, like, yeah, like America has done a lot. It has done a lot of fucked up shit. I'll just start off with that. Being the world's police, like they make good decisions and they make bad decisions. They try and influence regimes. I said at the last episode we've had other presidents that have done the same thing. That doesn't make it right or anything like that. It just I don't know. I guess what bothers me with this is not everyone, a lot of people are acting like this is just unheard of and we've just never done this before. And it's like, nah, unfortunately, this is like our bread and butter lately. Like, this is what we do. We did it in all kinds of countries. So it's sometimes it I don't know. I think the hope is that sometimes it'll work out for the best, but we have a lot of examples of it not, working out from the best, especially out in the Middle East. And Iran is a great example of a country that it didn't work out in, where we toiled around and, you know, basically, I think, put them on a certain path or helped put them on a certain path, to where, things happen. Um, but, there's also a responsibility for your own actions type of thing that goes into play. Um, but yeah, going back to the Iraq thing, that's what I meant by saying, these troops died, yes, in the Iraq war, but they were still killed because of Iranian actions. You know what I mean? In the Iraq war. So, like, I don't know. It's, for me, the thing that I guess bothered me with those comments, or that comment was like, you could look up, like, did Iran kill anyone in the Iraq war? That would be my first question if I didn't know and I read that comment. Instead of just being like, oh, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, why don't I see if maybe I don't know what I'm talking about real quick before I say someone else doesn't know? Because I'm not an expert at anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'll readily admit that. I've been wrong on this podcast before. One of the clips you played, like, I hated how I worded it because it made it sound like I was saying it's okay that Trump is doing this because other presidents have done it. When, as more in my head, it's more like, no, I just don't get the outrage now versus like the outrage back then when there wasn't any. So, like, to me, it's like y'all don't really actually care. You just care who's doing it.
No, that's not a high five. That's my hands up. I got a question, sir. I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So question.
I'm sorry. I was giving a lecture.
So question being, you said that the Iranians had something or had a impact on American deaths during the Iraq-Afghanistan war or whatever that operation was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we prove that?
Oh, you're gonna have to talk to the Pentagon about that.
You know what I'm saying? So like
So with like
we're not
IEDs, I would assume that they would take the IED, inspect it, find out where the materials come from, and that's how they would determine that. Same with like the other the penetrators that I said earlier, were they explosively formed penetrators? Um, I would assume that they can are again. I'm speaking out of pure assumption. I don't know, so I'm gonna lead with that. I would assume that they would look at the materials made and figure out where it came from and be like, okay, this is, you know, they only have this in Iraq or they only have this in Iran or whatever the case. So it was built in this place or something like that.
the same way that they're looking at that bomb that blew up that school with those 150 kids, 150 girls or children, right? Okay, cool. So we can look at explosives, we can look at things, right? But I'm just
Well,
gonna
they
say
can't look at that. They can't look at that bomb because it's in Iran. They're not gonna let them get it. But I know
no.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
See, this is why people don't like you, because you try to.
Because it's true though. That's technically like we're not looking at it the same way that like they take that shit apart and look at the little pieces and actually like identify it versus like looking at a picture. Yes, that's our missile. I'm not denying it was our missile. That's not the case. But we're not dissecting it apart, with all the pieces to determine where it was made. That's all I'm saying. See, that's why, I told you. I told you.
So,
I get way too technical, and that gets me in trouble because then people are like, "Why are you arguing this?" And I'm like, I don't know.
so,
Because technically, the same thing with like we're not at war. Like technically, we're not at war.
so, and you see this.
Which is why this one dude I was arguing with was like, "Oh, we're at war unofficially."
This is why we go off on tangents and stuff. Like we got to stick to the topics, and we got to stick because one, then if we're not at war, why do they keep saying it's war? That's one. We'll touch on that, but we'll just say this right here: Iran. You believe? What I say is, I think Iran. I'm not even saying I think Iran funded the Taliban, right? And whether you give people direct money or you give them direct access to goods or bombs or whatever like that, you're helping them in whatever cause to a certain extent. Especially
Yeah,
if you know that they're at war or they're going toe to toe with a particular group or a particular set of people, whether it's
yeah,
Americans or whatever infidels they can, or whatever group of people they consider infidels. If you are giving them access to resources, then America's going to deem you as helping them, right? I could even understand that saying that you helped them in that particular light. Cool. So what we have to do from there is we have to take a couple of steps back, and that goes back to that Operation Ajax in 1953, right?
it's the fucking British, man. Like I said earlier, it's the fucking British. Goddamn Brits,
Okay,
fucking
so
colonists, man.
see, this is what, like, yo,
I mean, they were, but
that so what do you so people had
that
access.
shit
The
was
British
cool.
had access to Iranian oil, and they were profiting off of Iranian oil with the consent of Iran, right?
Right, but so from what I understand, is Iran did not know that they was basically going to be getting like pennies compared to dollars. So like Britain's pulling out all this money, right? And then you know Iran's not getting nothing. So Iran starts getting tired of that shit,
Correct. Same way I'm
and then
tracking it.
yeah, then they got a guy that came to power. It's like Mossad or something like that. It could be. I'm probably saying it wrong because I'm ignorant, but yeah, he came to power and he was very much like, no, we're not we're not going to keep doing this. And so Britain came over to America and they're like, hey, y'all hear about this shit going on? And America's like, we don't give a fuck. At first, I think it was Truman who was president. Hold on. Never mind. I don't even look. It don't matter.
No, look it
Either
up.
way, we had
Eisenhower, Truman
at the
was president
start.
around there, around that time also, but yeah.
I gotta figure it out. I gotta see it. But uh, well, I'm just trying to find this. I'm trying to I'm trying to do two things at once, and I keep fucking myself up.
But ultimately, well, what I'll just say is ultimately when their prime minister realized what was going on, how the British were screwing them over to a certain extent, they he wanted no parts of that. But then there was
Right.
different facets within the Iranian people that wanted different things, right? So you had one facet that wanted they were cool with working with foreigners. They just wanted to keep their uh they wanted a better deal. And then there was
Yeah.
other people that said, you know what? I don't want to work for foreigners. I want this shit to ourselves, but I also want to implement our Islamic law or Islamic State, so to speak, right? What they believe in as a culture, as a people. So they want to stay true to who they are, but also redeeming the resources off their land, right? And then there's another group of people that said,
Yeah.
I don't agree. I want everything. And I don't feel like any one of those groups, excuse me, I don't feel like any one of those groups of people are wrong, right? I don't feel like
Mm.
none of them are wrong at all, because ultimately, what's raised, brought up in your land is yours, and you have ultimate resources for it. The problem that we have as a diplomatic country is we make rules, right, and we make laws, and we barter deals with you that we come on the other side of victorious where you come less than, i.e., you get what is it, 80-20 type shit. You got all the resources,
Yeah.
you do all the work, I get 80% of the profit, you get 20% of it. I ain't did a goddamn thing other than come over here and pick it up. You know what I mean? That is that wrong for a country to say, hey, you're fucking us and I don't want no parts of that no more? Is that wrong? Because
Nah.
that's ultimately what his name is. Mosaddegh is Mosaddegh.
Yeah. I think it's Mosada.
He's
Because
the
I
guy.
looked up how to pronounce things.
Yeah, I don't have that one, but he's the guy that said, "No, y'all are not going to keep screwing us over."
Right.
Granted, they tried to work out deals and deals and deals with the British, even with Americans. You know what I'm saying, on the back end to a certain extent, but he ultimately, you're not going to fuck us over. Are they wrong? Are the Iranians wrong for saying that? I would say no.
Nah, I would agree.
So then from that, Operation Ajax came involved, where they paid agitators. They had people that was in the his camp. They paid for
Hmm.
all this stuff. Literally paid for a coup. Paid for them to uprise in that country to overthrow somebody, to get somebody in place that was beneficial with the plans of exploiting them to a certain extent.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah.
wrong, bro. Right?
Yeah. So hold on. I found it. It was Truman that initially was like, "No, we're not interested," right? And then Eisenhower got elected, and Eisenhower was very like anti-communist, right? So if you think about like the 1950s, we're talking like beginning of the Cold War type stuff, like very high like anti-communism feelings throughout the whole world. America is literally attacking any country that communism is going to spread to. Like they're stopping it. And so I just basically Britain was like, hey, um, if you don't do something here, they're going to, start being. I don't remember if it was the USSR that was trying to convert them, to start being communist or whatever the fear was. But that was the fear that Britain tried to, convince America of, like, hey, if you don't do something, they're going to be communists, and we can't have that. So then America, Eisenhower was like, yeah, let's go do something. And then, so like you said, they started they had newspapers distributed, like they organized all these big ass events. They paid people.
And
Uh,
propaganda.
yeah,
Paid people.
it was
Yeah.
a complete propaganda work.
Yeah. Same shit Hitler
100%.
did. I mean, go ahead. Go, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't have any disagreements with that. Propaganda is bad no matter who it comes from, right? Um, but it just I'm trying to go on to where it actually ended. So I guess it got to a point where he did end up actually getting arrested. They were gonna Mossada.
Yeah.
He got arrested. They were gonna kill him, but they lessened his sentence to basically house arrest for the rest of his life.
I think it was
Um,
August 15th. The operation took place in 19. Excuse me,
that's
August 15th, 1953 to August 19th, August 53. It was over. He was out of there.
that's what I was looking for. I just couldn't find the date.
He died March 5th, 1967.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. They ended up letting him go. I guess live out the rest of his sentence in his house or something like that. I guess. Um, but yeah, and then you fast forward to basically over time, people because British ended up getting what they want. They kick out the prime minister and they give all the power to one group who side. I think it's the Shah, and they side with letting Britain stay and continue to do that type of thing. But then over time, people start to get pissed off and they start to feel like, hey, we're. It's crazy because the country advanced a lot as far as like infrastructure, but like as far as like for the people themselves, like I don't know, like they didn't get to feel all that advancement. I guess like it didn't advance with them, um, so that they just felt like they were left out, and then that's what led to the Islamic regime taking over in 1979, and then literally ever since then, it's just Iran has been a big issue.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Which
You don't think you don't think they're justified in their being an issue? Like you fucked my country up.
Yeah, I definitely think there's things that can be done, but I just don't agree with
No,
bombing innocent people. That's what I'm saying. So like
you fucked
the
my
the
country
the
up though.
actions that they've chose to do, to me those aren't the right actions to make when you're wronged. Like yes, they were wronged, and I will admit that America fucked up, but that doesn't make those other actions okay. And so like I don't know. Like yeah, we fucked up as a country. Like I don't. It surprises me that people don't think that that happens. Like we've fucked up a lot, as I've said before. Um, but I still feel like that doesn't give people like justification to be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna blow up entire fucking groups of people that have nothing to do with it. And I don't know. It's just
You can't tell me how to react to yo what you did to me. There's no. Oh man, oh you went too far. There's no such thing as I went too far. You did something to me that I didn't tell you to do that. You overthrew my country on purpose. Now, granted, this is the problem that I have with it in that particular sense. Sorry about that. Well, I'll say this: Do you think it's fair that somebody comes into your country, overthrows your government, and then forces you or tries to force you into a quote unquote regime democracy or a government type style that they want you to be in? You think that's right?
I don't know.
So how do you can't tell me how to react to what you did to me? Y'all pulled a maneuver on me as America. America pulled a maneuver on Iran and forever.
I can understand, and I can understand that, but those are also going to have reactions as well. You know what I mean? Like again, I'm not going to sit here and say like America was right in any way, shape, or form. Like again, we've done a lot of fucked up shit to a lot of different countries, um, and I'm not saying I agree with it, um, but at the same time, like I don't know. I feel like it's I don't know. It is a tough situation because I get what you're saying completely. Like if you hadn't have done this, like our country could be totally different. Who knows what it would fucking be like? You know what I mean? So like I do completely get what you're saying. Um, it's just it's a tough situation, because then you move on, 20, 30 years and it's like okay, now the feelings are still there, but now you got totally different groups of people and like I don't know, there's still to me like morally right and wrong, and yes, someone can do something to you it doesn't make it right to go and fuck up a bunch of people who didn't have anything to do with it. And that doesn't, again, I'm not trying to justify anything America did. It's just once you start doing certain things and like, then America's going to react as well. Um, and then that time, like, this time they'll actually have a reason, like, or justification. But at the same time, you can still argue, like, hey, y'all did put them in this fucking situation, or at least help them get to that situation. Like, again, who knows how different it would have been if Iran would have seized control of the oil way back in the
Why,
50s
why,
and they would have moved on
why
that
do they
way.
have to?
You know, it could
Why do
have,
they have to seize
it could have,
control of something that's theirs? They shouldn't have to seize control of that. That's their shit. It's theirs.
because Britain went there, installed it, and they were making money, and they don't want to lose
Cool.
it.
And
So they're gonna say that this is ours. And so now I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying like that's what it boils down to. Like Britain's gonna be like, we put this here, we did all this. And of course they're not right, but that's what they're not gonna want to give that up. You know what I mean? And so you're gonna have to take that from me. Like, I'm not gonna give
and
it
I,
to you. This is how the thought
so
process
for
is.
me, cool. Once I realize that you're fucking me over, screwing me over in any type of way, I'm done doing business with you. Granted, there's contracts and stuff like that has to be abided by, and they have different organizations that try to uphold you to those type of things and stuff like that. So I get it, but brother, you're fucking me in my country, in my people. I have a right to stand up for myself, and I have a right. Fuck the rights. I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm gonna say fuck y'all, and you need to get the fuck out of here. And that's what the prime minister, I don't,
Yeah,
Masada.
Mosada,
That's what he wanted to do, and he was
right?
overthrown because he wanted to do that. Granted, I'm not sitting up here saying that that everybody in this country agree with him, and I'm not saying that everybody disagree with him. But I will say one thing.
Right. It was pretty popular.
Exactly. So what I will say from that
It was pretty
is
popular.
we don't have to get involved with every single thing that's going on. It's not your place, bro. Stay in your lane. They tell me that at my job. Stay in your lane. Just because something going over
Yeah.
here
So
doesn't mean it's like so what we're gonna jump into from there is what's going on currently today, right? That's where we're going from
yeah,
there to current day.
it's hard for America to stay in this lane because its lane is so
No,
broad, I guess.
America's made its lane
Um,
so broad by fucking over so
it,
many people.
the
Nah,
world
man, because you
the world needs
the
hold
world
on,
needs
hold on, hold
what?
on. So the last time we were truly an isolationist country was when World War II started, right? So like you see what happens. Like we saw Japan doing these things, acquiring this oil, taking over all these countries, and we're like, nah, we're gonna leave it alone. And then look what happens. So I mean, like, you can't completely ignore the rest of the world and be isolationist, but you can't be overbearing and be involved in every little thing. So I agree with you on that aspect. Like, yeah, but America's role, like, we do have to be the world police. Like, this world would be a completely different place if America was not the world
This
police.
this
100%
world
different.
will be ran as this world should be ran if America wasn't the world police. That's what would happen. This world would run.
You would have, and I mean, you're talking Taiwan would be gone. Like, tons of countries immediately slaughtered.
Okay, and I'm not
Europe
again.
completely done with.
So
Like,
why?
they don't pay for their defense. Well, they do a little bit now, but like we've been paying for their defense for forever. Like that's part of being the world's police. Like we pay for other countries to defend themselves. It's not just us going out and inserting ourselves like Osama bin Laden. That's part of being the world police. We went and killed that
But
dude,
we
Saddam
also made
Hussein.
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah,
Like Osama bin Laden was made by America. Like we can't deny what we've done. So when you say like these other countries that need protection, they need protection because we are the people that's causing the problem. We're out causing the problem.
sometimes yes. Sometimes you're 100% right, but not all
Not
the
all the
time.
time. But also, we don't have to get
Right.
involved with everybody thing. Sharia law is
I
Sharia
agree.
law is a real thing in the Middle East. People believe in that. People will die behind that.
It's a real thing in a lot more places than just the Middle East,
Even where, I
unfortunately.
don't care where it's involved at. People believe in that. People will die behind that. You don't think they have a right to believe and die behind that? You think that you are the police to be able to tell people how they feel, what they should feel, and how they should govern themselves? That's
I don't think they're
bro.
saying
So
that.
so let me okay. Let's jump into not right now. Why was Ayatollah killed? Why was he murdered? Why was he slaughtered? Why was he hunted down? Why was that shit taken? Why was Epic Fury even a thing? You said it, and that's
I
another thing.
mean,
You said it on the other podcast. There's evil people. There was evil people, and once that this operation was put forth, there was evil people that was off of this earth, right? You stand on that,
right?
okay?
Yeah,
O-
they killing 32,000 civilians that are protesting, and yeah, like you'd have to be a pretty bad person to do that, in my
Okay,
opinion.
cool.
So, like, yeah, I don't see
I'm
what's
not
wrong with
saying
that.
that. I'm not
That's
saying.
just
No,
one
I'm saying
example,
that's
right?
the one example. But do you think that there's other people on his side that may feel like Trump is evil,
Weird. Oh yeah,
Americans are evil, Reagan is evil, Bush is evil, Obama's evil? You don't think that they feel the same way? You don't think that they have harbor those same feelings that, hey man, this guy or these people are the reason why everything's to shit right now. If we was able to do what we want to do the way we want to do it, everything would be okay. But these people are the people that's fucking us over. You don't think that they feel that way?
I'm sure that is a huge aspect of how
Okay,
they feel.
cool.
Yeah,
So if they were to react and they had the capabilities of bombing the White House, killing however many people, doing what we did to them, do you think they're justified in their actions?
no.
So do you think we're justified in our actions?
I mean, it depends on why we went to war because I still don't actually. They've given all kinds of reasons, right? So like it's like I said on the last podcast, I think there's good aspects of it. Like hopefully you can help these people that, have been oppressed for all these years under this regime. There's also
Come on.
what?
Who's okay? Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. All these people that, no,
No,
all
I
these people
mean
that's
they
oppressed under this
killed so
regime.
those
Go ahead.
protests. Those protests were because they killed a woman for wearing a hijab incorrectly. Right? So like that's being oppressed. Like you can't go out and be free.
No, that's their law. You have to do these things this way. That's their law.
That's still being
No,
oppressed.
that's not, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not oppression. That's
That
so
is.
so then people are oppressed in
That is.
America. Because I feel like I
Just because
feel
it's
like
written in the
I
law
feel
doesn't
like
mean it's not
I feel like
oppression.
I should be able to ride without a seatbelt. I feel like I should drive however fast I want to. That's oppression to me, right? Because that's a law that's written that I have to abide by. That I didn't vote on that shit. You know what I mean? I didn't vote on the law to tell me what my speed limit is. I didn't vote on the right to wear my seatbelt or not. That's not something that I voted on. But I have to abide by that law in these states.
Right. But there's
I
reasons
don't
for
care what
that,
the reasons
right?
is. You can't tell me what the reasons is. What safety, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
you
what
can't
is the
go
reason? What
500
is the
miles an
reason?
hour if your car can let you.
What is
So,
the reason that that lady has to wear her habib? What is the reason for that?
because that's what the
That's what
religion
I'm
says.
saying, bro. So who are you to
That's how
tell
they
these people?
interpret
Who are
it to
you to
say.
tell these people they're wrong for what they're doing, for what they believe in? That's their country. Who are you to tell them they're wrong? That's their country, their law. So if people are out here getting slaughtered in America, right? Because there's other things that's happening in
Okay.
America that people can deem wrong. Prejudice, racism, outlandish number of locking people up when you have to. I'm not even gonna say it. Some people, there's a group of people that everybody says innocent until proven guilty, but then there seems like there's a group of
Mhm.
people that's guilty until proven innocent, and there's studies behind that. that stated these things, that there's a
Excuse me.
seems to be a certain group of people that are tried and convicted at a higher rate for crimes that they didn't commit because they're exonerated at a higher rate, right? So if I'm exonerated at a higher rate and I'm tried and convicted at a higher rate, those two things offset each other, so those numbers can't be as
Man,
right.
no. I don't want to get into this whole conversation because it's going to get deep, but you're talking a very small amount of exonerations. Yes, it's larger than other groups, but over like 30 years, it's like 1,100, or I don't even think it's that much. Like, it's very small amount. So, like, yes, it's a higher proportion, 100%,
So that,
but
that doesn't offset
the
the
amount,
numbers.
no.
So a higher proportion doesn't offset the numbers.
If it was higher, yes, it would they would offset and equal out. Well, I guess I'd have to determine
I don't have
exactly
the
what we're
numbers. I don't
trying to
have the
even
numbers.
out, but
Right. All I'm saying is that all.
but
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
all
ahead.
there has been more exonerations for black people than it are for black people than any other race, like
Yes.
period. But it's not like it's 50% or 20%, 10%, 5%. It's nothing like that. It's like less than it's still less than 1% of all of the convictions were wrongful convictions. So like they don't offset it. It's yes, there's more, but it doesn't account for the amount.
Okay. Cool. What I'm saying behind that is there's a group of people that's subjected to treatment that other people ain't subjected to that same treatment. Right. In America, we can go to slavery. Period. That's simple. Right. If another country deemed that wrong and they came over here and felt like they had the right to do something, are they wrong for doing that?
I mean, are we talking morally
No,
here?
I'm saying what we just did to Iran, if another country deemed what we were doing wrong in this country, acts of Congress, governments, whatever, if they feel like this shit was wrong here and they came and did what we did to them, are they wrong for that?
I guess it would depend
Why
on
are
what
we
the
making
reason, like what
excuses,
we
bro?
did.
You just said that.
What do
Are they
you
right?
mean?
Is it
There
right or
are
wrong? Is it
reasons that are okay to be like, yeah, I would feel like, okay, they've been fucking up. They've been, doing these terrible things to these people, blah, blah, blah. This country said, I'm tired of it. We're going to attack you. Like,
so?
okay.
Are
Like,
we wrong for what we did to Iran? That's simple. Bombing them, killing Ayatollah. Do you think that that was wrong?
I guess it would depend on
Reasoning.
the exact reason why we're in Iran or why we're doing what we're doing, because they've kind of hinted around like multiple different
So what
reasons,
is one
right?
of the reasons you heard?
Um, though, I mean, they've said, for the protesters, they've said stuff for Iran has a new missile that they are something that they got from China that can sink aircraft carriers, and they were talking about using it. And supposedly they had intel that they were going to use it sometime. Whether it's threats from Kelmani and whatever he said, and then he said something about Trump, and so I'm sure Trump takes a lot of things personally, so maybe that's something to do with it.
Ain't that exactly why they said they
I,
didn't
I,
want a woman in office because she's gonna take things personal? Go ahead, my bad, my bad, my bad. Go ahead, go.
Yeah, no, yeah. Trump's not that guy. He's definitely takes everything that way. Good things and a lot of bad things about Trump, no doubt about that. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard. I can understand why people would say we're wrong,
But I'm saying,
but at the same time, like if we did know a strike was about to happen, like yeah, we're right to do that. Like we stopped them before they were about to attack us. But I don't know that that's the
which they
case.
came out and kind of confirmed that that's not true. That was information that was I'm not gonna say falsely put out there, but that information wasn't as accurate as we would want it to be, to where it thwarted a
Yeah,
attack. It thwarted an attack from America, like what we did. You know. Then outside of
yeah.
that, just as quick as you can say, and I'm not trying to back you in the corner, I am, but just as quick as you can say, maybe you don't know the reasonings. If I put up this fake scenario like I did, if they deemed that we was doing something wrong, can you just not say? Can you say are they right or wrong? If they did if they did what we did to them, are they right or wrong based off of they feel like we did something wrong? Can you just at least say I don't know? Because you can't say they're right or they wrong.
Right. Well, that's why I've been, or at least I feel like I've been saying, it depends on what is being done. Like if we're doing something in our country that is morally wrong and another country feels like they need to correct it,
Slavery was wrong, right?
and if another country attacked us and said, y'all are going to stop having slaves or we're going to attack you, and then we're like, oh, fuck you, we're going to do it anyways. And then they attacked us, I'd be like,
So what
that's
if
pretty
Africa
cool.
was like, we're going to attack America on the injustice of black people in America? We're going to attack America based off of that. Is that cool or not cool to you? This is crazy. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that's, you have to go to war over that? Like,
I
nah,
think it's
I
right.
couldn't.
It's the same shit.
Yeah?
It's the same shit.
Nah.
There's a group of people that's subjected to a different type of treatment than everybody else within that country. What's wrong with that? Sharia law does that for people. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with another country saying that's wrong and doing exactly what America, the world please, Team America does? America, fuck yeah. What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, I'm really trying not to get into this conversation because there's also studies that say the opposite of what you're saying. So I'm really not trying to get into like a whole like debate on how oppressive
No, it's
America
not even
is.
about that. It's about
But
another country stepping in because they deem something wrong and taking action against it. That's what I'm saying right there. Is another country wrong for if they did what we did to them? Or is another country wrong for that? If Canada felt like we were
depending on their actions, they could be. I'll say I don't know. Depending on their actions, they absolutely
great,
could be wrong. We could be wrong. We could be wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say like there's no way that we're wrong. I don't
cool,
know. You know,
cool,
like I said, I like the thought of helping people, so that's what I lean towards. But that doesn't mean that's why
great.
we're there. All right, cool. You're done.
Double
All right,
thumbs up
go.
because we got to move to the
I feel like you're about to be like try and do something,
because we got to
but
move to the
yeah, I
next
feel like it's
topic,
coming.
which is these sanctions, right?
Hmm.
Buddy said that they had. What about the 4,000 sanctions that they had that they have on Iran currently? Right.
Yeah,
I looked it up. I didn't get an exact number.
it is hard to get an exact number on.
It said there's thousands. That's from what I from
There's a
thousands.
lot.
That's what it said. Thousands.
Yeah, and not just from us. You're talking most of Europe, like Britain and all them. They all got sanctions on them
I
too.
looked up U.S. sanctions. Now, granted, the U.S.
Yeah,
sanctions could be backed by NATO, could be backed by U.S. allies. So, U.S. because we're a big entity in the world, like U.S. and Britain or U.S. and this country could be a sanction. So we may have sanction 1 through 50. And then another country
right,
that we're allied to may have sanctions 51 through 190. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Boom.
right.
So with the sanctions, he said that they got a lot of sanctions on them. Some of the sanctions
Yeah,
are agreed upon. So any sanction that is quote unquote agreed upon, I'm not saying I won't speak on, but and I don't know all the particulars about all the sanctions, right? I know that their nuclear program needed to be shut down. Motherfuckers deemed that. Certain research that they was doing need to be shut down, and that's whatever.
right.
When I say need to be, I mean that's what the sanction is saying. I'm not saying I agree with it. I feel like everybody should have the right to research what they want to and do what they want to do, and that's the beautiful part about the USA. The U.S. of A is we are efficient in certain things, i.e., flying a fucking a U2 or a SR-71 over your country and downloading as much information as we possibly can. In the same way that we allowed, who was it, China to fly that balloon over us and get all that information. Just as much information as they got off us, we got as much information off them based off of what we need to know off that particular device. That's why we let it travel so far, in my mind. That's why we let it travel so far. That's why we shot it down. We had to get as much information off we can. People say shoot it down and then get the information off of it, but if we shoot it down, it stops emitting information, whether it's transmitting or blocking or jamming, whatever it is. We can't get that information off of it if it's not operating to a certain extent, right? So I'll say all that just to say intel is a real big thing in America. So I'm not saying that everybody should be governed or shouldn't be governed, but I'm saying that everybody should have, at least every country should have at least the ability to advance their country as far as they possibly can without the sanctions of others, right? And I'll say, go ahead.
Well, and just for this one aspect of the sanctions, at least, like Iran did also agree not to do what they're doing with the nuclear program. Like they signed stuff like way back in early 2000s not to do what they're doing. Just as a side
Granted,
note.
and that's where I was leaning to right there. Those sanctions that Buddy was talking about is not necessarily. I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but I don't know. That's the part where for me it's like a narrow road to walk on, because in one light, if you're willing to kill everybody, right? I, right? You kind of gotta I gotta keep an eye on you, right? But in the same breath, like you gotta do something to make me want to kill you. And that's where, for me, I have a problem with everything that's going on right now. First of all, you try to overthrow this country. Then the advancement of this country is hindered by your sanctions. So you can do as much research and advancement in nuclear technology and whatever you want to do, but you want to stop me from doing it because of my ideology. That's where I have a problem with. Your ideology, whatever the fuck you believe, is what you believe, and I'm not trying to stop you from doing whatever you want to do. And in fact, I can't stop you, right? I cannot stop America from doing whatever. Granted, where Iran is based, like the likelihood, even for you to shoot a missile that's gonna touch American soil. I'm not talking about American soil like a territory. I'm talking about our 50 states. In order for Iran to touch a 50 state, they got to shoot a fucking missile that literally goes into fucking outside of our atmosphere and then comes back in. I don't know if they have the technology to do that. I'm pretty sure somebody does.
Well,
And that's one
that's
of the problems, right? I get it. I get it wholeheartedly. But what I'm saying,
that's why they was getting so friendly with Venezuela. Like I don't know if you know, but Iran and Venezuela, they've been like really cool for a long time. And like back in I think it was 21, they signed like a 20-year agreement. And so like I think it's a big part of why Trump, one of the reasons, I won't say a big part, but it's one of the reasons why Trump attacked Venezuela is because Iran is basically like sending them drones and all kinds of different things like that. And then they basically are allowing Iran to bring their warships and dock there. Well, if they can dock there, they can hit America. And so that's when America's like, nope, not doing that shit. So they stopped that shit real quick. Um, and so I think that's also a part of one of the many reasons why we went to Venezuela
but
as
can
well.
America dock in Kuwait? Yeah, and
Yeah, we can dock
can
almost
we blow up
anywhere.
Iran from there too? See, so like it's a
Yeah.
double standard sometimes when not you, but when these things are laid out amongst the people. It's like, hey, do as I say, not as I do. Man, in fact, and if you do as I
Right.
do, I'ma spank you. And if you get out of pocket, I'll kill you.
But see, really, if you look at it, almost all, from my understanding, I could be wrong. Please, anyone out there, feel free to tell me I'm
They
wrong.
will, trust me.
But most of them
They will.
sanctions, yeah, most of them sanctions are from the not following the nuclear deal, and then the terrorist stuff.
I mean,
Like so it's a little different. Like you can't allow someone who is the lead sponsor of terrorism in the world. He just doesn't have the same. We haven't attacked Kim Jong Un. You know what I mean? And he's a threat, but he's not a threat in the same way that
But
Iran
why is he a
is.
threat?
Well, in the sense of he's got
Okay,
nuclear
cool. Is
weapons.
that a
We
threat?
haven't
We got
we
nuclear
haven't bombed
weapons.
his shit
I'm
and
sorry.
stopped him.
Go ahead.
Right, right. But I'm saying we haven't bombed him and stopped him from making nuclear weapons. We've done all kinds of sanctions on him, just like we did Iran, but we haven't attacked him because I just feel like I don't know. They're both dangerous, but you have one that is literally like actively over the past 5 decades been killing Americans and you know doing all kinds of sponsoring all kinds of terrorism throughout the entire world, killing all kinds of other innocent people. So it's just like, yeah, I can't allow you to have a nuclear weapon. Even if you didn't sign this, like you're gonna give it to someone to use it. Even if you don't use it, you're gonna give it to Hezbollah to use it against Israel. You're gonna use it to, whatever. And it's like I can't, and that's why I bring up the World War II thing. Like you can't just allow countries to free range because you're going to end up in a situation where you're paying for that isolationism later. You know what I mean? So you got to have that heavy fist, but you don't always have to hit everything. Um, Sometimes it seems like we're a hammer looking for a nail, and it's like you don't always have to hit something. Like you can be a hammer, but like chill out. So I tend to agree with you on that, and sometimes I feel like if we were going to do what we did to Iran, it would have made more sense for us to do it last year when we attacked the first time. I don't understand why we attacked, called it off, waited a year, and then just attacked again. I don't fucking get it. It doesn't make sense to me. They haven't settled on an actual reason. I don't know the reason. Like Bro said, I support the troops 100%. Our military is fucking amazing. Um, but I don't get it. To be honest.
Israel. So I can't act like we don't know why we're involved in this particular situation. Israel definitely. You said on the last podcast, Israel has a big influence on why we are doing what we're doing, right?
Yeah, apparently, and they're paying people like me apparently to
Yeah, they might
to.
be. I don't know. I told you if you fucking
That's what I
if you
wanted to
get
ask. Like, who's paying? One of the comments, so just so y'all know for some context, said something about like how much are you getting paid the thousand
seven
dollars
thousand, it
or
was
did you
seven
just
thousand.
$7,000 or did you sell your
Sell your
soul? I
soul
don't
or
remember.
something
It was
like
something
that.
along those
Yeah.
lines.
If you
I was like,
if
what?
you if you if you're personally monetized, that's crazy. But I don't agree. I don't think for the record, I don't think Corey's getting paid by Mossad or anything like that.
For the record, I'm definitely not getting paid.
But
Shit.
I my thing behind the whole situation is you said for 5 decades, right? Isn't that around the time where Operation Ajax took place and the after cause of that? Like my problem with the whole thing is like
Well, since the
we
'70s is what I was
we
getting
act
at.
like we haven't done, and I'm not saying you, but we act like we haven't done things to these countries to invoke this type of behavior. So if Iran is supporting terrorism, what is terrorism to them? America's terroristic, or excuse me, terrorists to them. You know what I mean? These people
I
that's,
can
that's
agree
trying
with
to
that.
take over their land, take over their resources. The same reason Gaddafi was killed, because he wanted to back the dollar. Excuse me, he wanted to back the African money. So if you back the African money,
See,
what you're gonna do is corrupt everybody else, and you're gonna bankrupt everybody else. I.e., because you're not backed by shit. Point taken, bro. It's costing us $860 something million a day to run these operations, this war. The three F-15 striking
I'm
Eagle,
surprised that's all.
it cost us 3.3 billion the first day with all those bombs, bro. We had 200 planes flying around, 200 of our jets flying around. Three of them got taken down
Yeah.
by not Iranians, not by Hezbollah, not by Islamic State, not by Hamas, nobody. Nobody but the Kuwaitis. Now, granted, are the Kuwaitis wrong for seeing something on their radar and being taken out and protecting their country? Fuck no. Are we wrong for flying in their airspace and not advising them of that information? Fuck no. Right? Because we wasn't attacking them. Right? So I don't feel like
Yeah.
we're wrong for being in your airspace, but then you also run a risk of this right here happening. And what does that do? That costs us
Right.
damn near $400 million, right? $400 million for those 3 planes that taken down. Not even, and I'm pretty sure that's just the fucking plane itself, right? The how much it costs to get
Right.
that plane in the air and everything like that. It's not even costing what it takes to save those soldiers over there that we seen on video, damn near about to get killed because they thought they were Iranian, right? Boom. That's not even costing that. That's not even taking to that. And then we don't have money to fund this war. So it makes me think right now at this particular time, our money is funny. So if Gaddafi is in Africa trying to validate money with resources backed by their country, gold, diamond, water, and you kill this man because he's trying to back something with reality, we're out here operating on fucking cryptocurrency in our country. We're producing money out of
Yeah.
nowhere that we're actually able to do all this shit that we're doing. But in reality, I heard a dude say this today. The Constitution doesn't allow you to borrow money, it allows you to print money. That's what our Constitution does. Allow you to print money, not borrow that shit. You can print it all day, but you can't borrow that shit. You're not supposed to be borrowing money that you can print for yourself. Get it? Okay, cool. I didn't do the research on it to find out how valid it is, right? But that just hearing that was crazy to me. And it makes me think about everything that's going on right now. We're in a war that's costing us damn near $1 billion a day. And what is our deficit? Who the fuck do we owe money to? How are we producing all these weapons? Who's paying for them? How is the American people that is quote unquote made in the U.S.A. in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, or wherever I'm not even gonna get all the locations, but wherever these fucking places that stuff is being manufactured at, who is paying these people? How are these people doing this? How are these things being resourced and stuff like that? Like, these are real issues within America that we have to understand and deal with, because it seems like America may be deemed the world police, but to the world, non-allies, we may be the world terrorists. This shit is crazy to me to understand that we may be just as
Yeah.
bad as the people that we're trying to quote unquote police. They see us the same way because we're not as far-fetched from them as we are. Or, excuse me, our actions isn't as far-fetched from them as we think we are. They hold kids and women and shoot at us and make us kill. They hide amongst women and kids. We just blew up a school. What's wrong with that? And then on top of that, we said that was a targeted location. We just didn't know it was a school. All this intel we got and we didn't know that was a school? Why not just admit and say, hey, in order for us to get our target, we had to do this? Because then you're going to seem as heartless as the people that you're condemning. You're going to seem just as gross as those guys.
Nah, I don't believe that. I
So,
don't believe that.
what part?
I don't believe that. I think the school was hit because they went off of old
It was
intel.
it was a
That was
targeted
wrong,
location.
and so they hit the
It was a
school.
targeted location.
Right, based off of old intel. Right. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't a targeted location, but it was they didn't know based off the old intel. The intel did not say that it was a school, and that's a story, and I believe that. I don't think that the military was sitting there like, kids, yeah, let's kill. Like, I feel like if you really believe that, then like, I don't know, like if I thought that, like I would be like, all right, I'm going somewhere else. Like I can't be in a place where I think our government's like willingly killing kids. Like I just don't believe that.
Willingly? and collateral damage is two totally different things in the eyes of America. Yeah, so
100%. Well, it is. It
I
is.
think that it's really not, because if we can go back to
Well, collateral damage, it assumes that or implies that it's not. I'm not trying to hit you. I hit this guy, but you were in the area type of thing. So there's no intention there versus having intention and saying, yo, no, I'm trying to kill all these other people too. Like
yeah,
that's different.
in both situations people died. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Both situations, a school. In
Yes,
both
absolutely.
situations, a school.
Absolutely. And it's completely tragic what happened to those little girls. And it's
Yeah,
beyond sad. Like it's terrible. Like there's no fucking words that that, yeah, it's disgusting. There's no other word other than it was a terrible thing. But I don't think that America purposely was like, that's a school with full of girls, let's
brother.
hit it
There's a
right now.
there's a button to press and you press it. And granted, they may have been going off of old
Hmm.
intel. Based off what I think and what I know, I'm not even gonna say what I know. Based off what I think, they're not. They had people out there on ground, on foot, that identified the Ayatollah walking in that building, and that's when the operation took place. We had information that he would be in this particular spot. We identified that information with accurate information, i.e., whether it's a camera or a visual representation, him walking, and I can tell you on the phone or however, yeah, he's there. That's why we attacked. That's why he was that.
Is that where he
Huh?
got hit though? That's not, I didn't think that was where he got the missile that got him was. I didn't think it was at the
It was
school.
bunkered underneath. You ran?
Nah, not from what. Maybe I have to check that.
I mean,
Yeah, like when we killed Komania or the Ayatollah, like I don't, I haven't read anything saying he was underneath the
no,
school.
he was in
Like
the
those are
area.
just two completely
From what
separate
I
incidents.
heard, he was in the area. They were downtown or in a populated area downtown city, quote unquote, whatever you want to call it in Tehran. And the bunker that's underneath there, they was underneath, and it was for lack of better words, like a maze, a hamster wheel, hamster maze, like where you put the hamster shits and they go different. It was like that underneath this particular part of the city, and they had intel about this information. And around that is a regular city, right? And it was just day-to-day
Yeah,
activities going on. This is how they operate to be not necessarily concealed, but if it makes it more dangerous for you to shoot at them because of the collateral damage. And this is where my problem with it is, because I'm saying that I'm not gonna say America knew that that was a school. I'm not gonna say they did or didn't. What I'm saying is what happened happened. And based off of what
yeah,
America does and how we look at collateral damage, if the target is bigger than the collateral damage, or the collateral damage doesn't meet a certain threshold, we're gonna take that shot. Period, point blank, the end. To go get Ayatollah the way we got Saddam, highly unlikely. The way we got Osama, highly unlikely. The way we get certain people is highly unlikely based off of what their capabilities of, right? Could we get boots on ground and do some secretive shit in Iran? Fuck yes. I think we're capable of doing that anywhere in America. Anywhere in the world. But in this particular situation, we can't do that way, and this is what we're left with. And I think that America deemed that area, that particular section of ground, that particular section of land, we can delete it all if we need to. Because this guy and this person is way more important than whoever is around for collateral damage. And for me, that's a problem. If you deem 150 kids collateral damage, okay, that's a problem. Because how do you think that country is going to feel about what you did? You just created potentially 300 angry parents.
that's right. That's exactly why. Well, you're
I,
gonna create a
I, I
lot
just
more
say
than
that
that, but
because
that's exactly
it takes
why I
two to
don't
it
think.
takes two to make a baby. That's the only reason I say that, right? It's 300, 150 times
Right,
two,
right.
300. I know for a fact that
But
it's
really, I
gonna
mean,
be vast, way more vast than that. You know what I
right.
mean? So
And so does the Trump administration and the defense secretary, all of them. They all know that, which is exactly why they would never do that on purpose. Like they're not trying to hit Iranians in as far as civilians. Like it just that's not the goal. All right, and I don't believe that. Now, is there a possibility that you're right? Yeah. Like I'm not going to say it's impossible. I don't believe that. I still believe that our government hasn't fallen that far by the wayside to where that. No, the government that I know is like, no, if you can't take that shot if there's that much collateral damage, and from what I understand, that's how we usually operate now. Like it's not like back in World War II where we firebombed entire cities and killed like 40,000 civilians in one night. Like we don't do that
well, I
shit no more.
mean,
I don't know if it's quite that high. All right, it was literally tens of thousands of people though in like 1 or 2 nights when we used to do the firebombing, like in Tokyo. We did firebombing over there, and like the whole city was made out of wood, so it all just caught fire. Like we tons of civilians. Like I just don't think that we care more than we used to because back then I feel like the stakes were a little bit higher. You completely disagree with me, but I just don't see our
bruh,
government
these
doing
are
that.
the
I don't.
same guys that just went on TV and said they're willing to kill all of them.
All of who?
Iranians, anybody that this motherfucker got on Pete Hegseth is a I'm not even gonna say that, but he said if you threaten an American, if you harm an American, if you kill an American, we will hunt you down and we will kill you. Right?
Cool.
You don't have a problem with that. Wasn't there 7 Americans killed? American soldiers. So doesn't that
Yeah.
mean that we got to go get them for doing that? Or was that direct retaliation in what we did to them? Oh, so it's okay. Okay, cool.
Okay. I
And
see what you're
so
saying.
on top of that,
I see what you're
we
saying.
won this war. Why are they not talking about? Why did it take 5 or 6 days, 7 days, whatever many days it took for them to talk about the 100 and something soldiers that was wounded that's getting shipped to Germany? So if you know anything about the war overseas in Iraq or Afghanistan in the Middle East, when the soldier gets hurt, that is quote unquote outside of the, I'm gonna say outside of a serious injury, right? They fly you from Afghanistan, Iraq, Middle East, wherever, they fly you to Germany, right? I think there's 111 soldiers that
Yeah.
was flown over there, 140 that were deemed injured that needed help. Why we ain't speak about those soldiers? Why we ain't tell American people about that? Why does it take so long to get that information out? But we're winning this war, and there's nothing going on. And we're just acting like we're just doing overhead operations, and all these bombs that they're landing ain't really doing nothing. Why are we not talking about the depletion of Israeli missile defense? Why are we not talking about that? Why are we not talking about the fact that Iran kind of has the upper hand? Because if the Iron Dome is down to a certain extent, there's this thing called a three-pack missile, right? And that's what they
Yeah.
utilize to shoot shit out the air. They're down to their 2-packs now. This 2-pack, the reason why they made a 3-pack is because the 2-pack couldn't shoot shit out the air.
Yeah. But now they're not getting any missiles from Iran. They ain't got barely anything left to shoot or to shoot from.
True. Or they may
That's
have shit
like
that they
we we
that's
have decimated
but that's
Iran.
based off of the same information from the same people that told you that that we depleted their nuclear program.
That's based off of Iran's information. No, 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 no. No, hold on. That is coming from us, but that is also coming from sources in Iran. Their newspapers are talking about how they don't have fucking soldiers are getting murdered for desertion. They don't have fucking equipment. They don't have gas. Like it's all kinds of issues.
So you don't think
If
that they can use
the
propaganda?
real issue is
You don't
is
think that they could put out information
I don't
you
think
don't
what.
think that Iran could put out information to deceive their enemies or their opposers? You don't think that would be crazy to do that?
Oh, I think they are
Okay,
trying
cool.
to.
Okay.
I think the IRGC is putting out propaganda saying that they're not that hurt and their leadership is still intact. I still haven't seen the son. They gave a statement from him today, but he wasn't
Why?
there. That never
Why would
happens.
you be there,
So,
bro?
like, I don't know what's going
Why?
on
But on top of this, why y'all murdered my y'all?
because they've always been there.
But you, but
There's no video of him since
why
then.
would I
Like,
give you
it's
that
just
information, bro?
I
Because you're good enough. Do you know that there's people that's able to take a video that I put out, I make outside. They can take certain things, the way the sun is, the clouds, the rain, everything, and depict and tell you exactly where I'm at. So if America has that information, do you
right.
think they would kill him or do you think they would let him survive? Do you think they would let him live? Not only did they murder his father, they murdered his daughter too. Right? His daughter died in that bombing. They
Yeah.
murdered his dad
He was in
and
that
they
bomb.
murdered his daughter. I don't give a fuck. He survived. He's alive. His daughter isn't, and neither is his father.
Maybe.
His daughter, we'll just say,
I don't know any of that if we're going down that road.
I would just
Right?
no,
Like
no. His
he
dad is
might be
dead, and
dead. He
his
might be
dad is dead,
alive.
and his daughter's dead. That's a fact. That's not us speculating if he's alive or not. His dad's dead.
Based on
His
what?
dad is dead. Ayatollah is dead, and they came out and said
How do we know though?
they have pictures of him.
We haven't
They
seen a
got pictures
body.
of it.
We haven't
Israel
seen a
has
body.
pictures of him.
Not okay. I haven't seen
We
him.
haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen him. So maybe they do have
Israel's
pictures. I just haven't seen them.
Israel's intelligence, along with our intelligence, put together, has said that the Ayatollah is dead. That's the information that we have. So we're not.
Okay.
So what?
So why do you believe him on that, but not on other things?
Because it's other information that's backed by that. Iranians has came out and said that. It's our opposers. So say for instance, me and you are
But how do you know that's not Iranian propaganda?
so let me say, you say one thing, I say another, right? And then there's a person in the middle.
Okay.
If you say one thing, I'm saying the same thing, and the person in the middle is saying the same thing, everybody on the outside is gonna say that's what it is. That's exactly what happened. We said Ayatollah's dead. Iran said Ayatollah's dead. Israel said Ayatollah's dead. He is dead, brother. That's that.
I believe that. Hold on, time out. I do believe that he is dead. But my point is we have no more proof that his son is alive or dead. So like and the reason I said that is because like the IRGC is saying, "Oh, we're in great shape," but you can't show that in any way, shape, or form. And your own news is reporting that you're having all these issues, that y'all are getting basically shit blown up left and right. Y'all don't have any fucking weapons to launch the missiles that you also don't have anymore. And that's why, like, every single day, their missile launches have gotten smaller and smaller. So now Israel, they don't, I mean, they can still use the three packs, it's always better, but they don't need it as much as before. Like you remember last year when Iran responded, they launched thousands and thousands of missiles like within a couple minutes or something like that. They can't do that anymore. They don't have the missile launchers or the missiles to do that. Like they just don't have it.
Granted,
So I don't know. I don't worry about that aspect of it. I don't. We sunk like 60 ships. Which is almost their entire navy. We torpedoed one. It just, I don't know. To me, like, it seems somewhat clear. Maybe it is. I'm falling victim to propaganda, but it seems pretty clear that yeah, it's this is definitely a one-sided ass whooping. Like I just the only thing I hope for it at this point is that Iran, I was going to say the Iranian people and Iran. I hope that good shit comes their way and they're able to fucking after this is over, they're able to fucking prosper and do well without us. Because there's a lot of Gulf nations that are doing absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? And we also meddled in their affairs, right?
we meddled in everything in the Middle
But
East.
we did,
Everything.
but So these vast outcomes, these vastly different outcomes, have vastly different ways that we handle
But
them,
every
right? And again, I'm not trying to justify what we did in the past. It's fucked up, but we're talking numerous administrations have changed. The country doesn't look at. We're not fighting communism like we were back then. Now people are too dumb to know that communism is a bad thing. Like so, it's a totally different world, and for me it's just hard to sit here and be like, I'm gonna go bomb innocent people or kill innocent people that had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to my country, no matter how fucked up it is. I'm gonna go kill those innocent people. That's fucked up. And I don't think that we look to kill innocent people. I think that we're going after certain targets. Like they have suicide drones that Israel sends out to these streets where the guards are waiting for protesters to pop up or people to start uprising so they can kill them. And so these suicide drones are
you
killing
said
these guards before they have the chance. So whenever the population does uprise, they don't have to meet armed guards. They're being taken out. You know, so like I don't know. I just hope good things
so
for the
bro,
country. I
you
guess that's
just
all
said
I'm trying to get
suicide
at.
drones that Israel sends out to kill armed guards. Okay, cool. So
Yeah, yeah. So they have
what if I'm
Iran.
paid? What if my job? What if that's part of my job? I'm wrong, right? I should be killed.
No,
Oh,
I
but
didn't
you
say
just did.
that.
You just said so. You're cool with Israel sending out drones to kill armed guards that are out there to do whatever to the protesters. That's my job, though. Yeah.
Right.
So, like, just as
Yeah.
justified as you are for your actions, on the other side, there's other people justified for their actions too. Like, I feel just in what I'm doing, just like you feel just in what you're doing. America feels just that they could police everybody's land, and there's people that feel just in just killing anybody that supports anything dealing with America. You remember back in the day, I forget what year it was, when they was burning.
Why can't both of those
They
things be
are
wrong
wrong.
though?
They
Like
are
why
wrong. They're
does
both wrong.
but it seems the argument that you're making seems to like say because this bad thing happened to me, I get to do whatever the fuck I
No,
want
I'm saying
forever.
I'm saying we
Like
can't
that's
tell
just
somebody how to react to what we did to them. You killed you murdered. There was no war. There was nothing declared on this dude, and he's not a regular fucking civilian. He's not a regular dude just walking around the street. He is their highest point of their people to them. Whether you agree with
did you
whether
know?
you agree with them
Did
or
you know that?
not,
I'm
whether
sorry.
you agree with how they operate in their country or not, this is who they valued at their highest point. Same thing with Putin. Same thing with Kim Jong Un. Same thing with what's the dude name in Venezuela? Moderna. What's his name? Maduro.
Maduro.
Same thing
Maduro.
with all these people. They're valued at a high spot. That's why they're there, regardless of how they got there. It didn't do anything to us. He ain't coming to our country, man. Once you go kill 25 Americans, you're gonna be the president of Russia. That's not happening. So even if they're running their country without diplomacy, even if they're running their country without democracy, even if they're running their country under Sharia law, it does not give us the right to come in and slaughter people, bomb people, kill people, overthrow people in their country. So, and then once we do that, somebody reacts to it, i.e., bombing the World Trade Center, i.e., cutting heads off in London, i.e., bombing people in the embassy. It does not tell us. You can't tell them how to react to that. Period. And that's what I'm saying. What we did deems a reaction, and the reaction, you cannot tell these people how to react to it. Because ultimately, we were wrong for what we did. You can ask a country all day if you want our help. You can ask a country if you want diplomacy. And if they say fuck off, fuck off. The real problem is that oil shit. That oil shit is what's really the problem, because a lot of countries are reliant upon the straight yeah, a
Hormones.
lot of countries are reliant upon that. That's why when we do shit over there, they do shit to our economy, quote unquote, burning oil. I forget when the Taliban was, but that's what I was referencing earlier. When they had the videos and the pictures of them motherfuckers. They was at the oil, the refineries, and they were just burning fucking oil. The whole sky was filled with
Yeah.
black from them just burning oil.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with
I think that was the first. That
has
was the
nothing to
first
do
one.
with a war. Like they're not killing nobody. They're not like, oh man, we're gonna burn this oil and everybody downwind is gonna die from it. That has nothing to do with it. They're literally, that's their way of getting back at America. Why? Because they cannot get back at America on Americans. It's so hard to do 9/11. Now that 9/11 was done and completed and the war, that shit, it's so fucking difficult to implement that same process again because our rules and our laws were so laxed at that particular time. You could do it. They felt it. They found it. They implemented and they executed. And from that, what do? We protected ourselves. We implemented new laws, new procedures, new ways to detect stuff, and everybody that quote unquote is for America figured out ways to stop certain things from happening. That's why you can't take a full bottle of water on a plane. That's why you can't take certain items on planes because we implemented certain ways to stop certain things from happening to the best of our abilities without interfering with our American day-to-day activities and freedom, so to speak, right? But in the same breath, these same people that want to stop all our freedoms, they don't have a way of sending a missile to America and landing. They don't have, just imagine an Iranian ship in the Gulf of Mexico. We blowing that bitch up off the rip. Off the rip. But matter of fact, before you even get close enough to, we're gonna blow you up. Right? So that thought process, the only way they can affect us is bombing an embassy, bombing people to get to bomb allies of us or anything like that. They're gonna do whatever they can. It's like a kid when the motherfucker throw a temper tantrum. They don't have nothing else to do. They start grabbing stuff and doing stuff. That's what Iran, that's the capabilities of them. Are they wrong? Are they right? That's the real problem. That's the real thing right there. And I'm saying that you can't tell somebody
they're wrong.
You can't tell somebody how to react to us though. Period.
I'm not telling them. I can tell you whether it's wrong or right. And we were wrong for what we did, and they were wrong too. Like it just I don't agree that just because America did something fucked up that you get to just like try and fucking kill innocent people around the entire world for the next 5 decades. Like I don't agree with that. I don't think that's right. And I think it sucks that we fucked up and did what we did. And I think it's wrong. And I'll stand on that and I'll tell people I think it's wrong. And I don't agree with it as an American citizen. And there's been most American citizens would look back at that and say, yeah, that's wrong. So like I don't know. I just right is right and wrong is wrong, right? We've said that a million times on this podcast. Killing an innocent person because of what someone else did to you, or even what that person's country did to you, is not right. It's just not right. It can be understandable to an extent, to be like, okay, I get why they reacted that way. But that doesn't make it right. Like it is very easily, that's wrong. 100%.
And I think a lot of people understand that, but right now, the reaction, Iran didn't do nothing to us. So preemptively attacking them with proof is one thing. Preemptively attacking them based off of speculation is a whole nother thing. And that's why I think a lot of people have for me, I have a problem with. I don't think that what we did, I don't think they did anything to thwart what we did to them. I don't think that any of their people that died, I don't think that those 150 girls were I don't think none of that shit was right. You know what I'm saying? Like even the soldiers that died, even the soldiers, American soldiers that died, even the soldiers that were wounded, even the people that's going to have PTSD from this, from evacuating the embassy or being stuck over there in Tel Aviv and whatever. Like I think all that shit is wrong because all that shit could have been avoided. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing, and it's one thing to be threatened. It's one thing to be attacked, and it's one thing to retaliate. I think everybody in America was okay with what happened with the bombing, the attack, the initial attack of Afghanistan, Iraq, based off of what happened in 9/11. Bro, you gotta go do something behind that. You gotta go do something behind that.
Nope. Not Iraq.
Afghanistan,
Afghanistan, yes.
okay,
Not
cool.
Iraq.
But I'm saying based off the 9/11 attack. Whoever got attacked behind that, we're fine with. Period. Iraq,
Yeah.
Afghanistan, cool.
Yeah.
But once we find out the intel and we find out that we're in a bullshit ass war, that even though
Well, it's like I said. It's like I said on that reel. It just I don't know. I just never mind. Never mind. Keep going. I'm sorry. I shouldn't
even
interrupt
I'm
you.
saying,
I lost my
even
train of thought
though
too.
that 9/11 happened, even though that happened, somebody's responsible for it. And once we find out who's quote unquote responsible for it, then that's the threat. That's the person that we deem the problem. And then we take out that person or that entity or that country or whoever. And I think everybody is cool with that. I think anybody's cool with somebody saying, hey man, we're gonna blow up California. And then showing a whole shitload of ships in that area, showing that you have the ability to do that, and America saying, hey, fuck that. We're going to fly jets over there, or whatever we're going to do, and we're going to stop y'all from doing it. I don't think anybody has a problem with that.
Yeah.
I think people have a problem with, I don't think y'all should do that, and you do it anyways. And then from that, American soldiers lose their life based off of what you did. Acting outside of the Congress,
Yeah.
and that's another thing, like, Bush did it. That's Bush in the Iraq War. He declared military use, right? And or not declared it, but he authorized military use, which is deploying the military under a law that was set for the War Act or whatever that allowed him to do such things and not necessarily get the approval of Congress, right? Bush did it, and I'm just gonna run down these three presidents. Bush did it, Obama did it, Trump did it. That goes back to what you're saying, which is everybody's done the same thing, but they're criticizing one president as if he was just so wrong and nobody else has done it. These three presidents did it, and I'm pretty sure other presidents did it, right? In different facets, right? But the problem I have is when soldiers die, somebody has to be responsible for that. Putting everybody's lives in danger, you have to be responsible for that. And you have to take that in mind. Is Ayatollah being dead at this particular point, at this particular way, in this particular season, in this particular situation, more credible or more valuable than whatever they have the capabilities of doing behind it? Granted, normally what we do is like when we went to Afghanistan and Iraq and all that, we depleted their flying capabilities, all that. That's why we were able to fly helicopters and shit like we was, because they had no air defense at all, other than RPGs and stupid ass shit like that, right? All those type of things, we depleted that immediately. So once our foot people got on ground, our ground troop got on ground, we could oversee with air superiority. Period, point blank in. We ain't been able to, I ain't say been able to do that, but it's not the same thing in Iran, right? So is Boots gonna have to be put on the ground? I don't know. Is he wrong for implementing a plan and a process to where he deemed the cabinet and our president, he deemed that this was more credible than those 150 lives? I can say yes. Whether you agree with it or not, I'm personally gonna say they deemed that whatever in that situation, whatever in that area was okay with getting slaughtered. And that's where I have a problem with. That's the whole problem I have. That's the issue I have. That's the thinking behind it. And that's the thinking behind it. And then what you said is you feel like like I'm saying, like it's okay for them to do anything in return. I'm just saying You can't tell me how to react to that. You did that to me. Whatever I do is okay on my end. Doesn't matter how I do. If I smack your mama after that, so be it, because I feel like what you did to me was so disrespectful that this is what I'm gonna do. And that's my.
See, that's different though. Now you're involving other people, and I guess
But
that's
you did
where I
too.
have the
Those
issue. Like
150 kids.
you said earlier about laws, right? You know, like, oh, you know, the speeding. Well, the reason there's a speeding law is because if you go too fast, you crash into someone else, you're going to kill them. Now, I disagree. I don't think there should be seatbelt laws for adults. I think if you're 18 or older, if you don't want to wear a seatbelt, that's your fucking decision. You shouldn't have to wear a seatbelt. If you want to, you know what the risks are. But if you're a kid, there should be no option. Like, you have to wear a seatbelt. 18 or older, you're a fucking adult. If you want to go flying through the windshield, like, it's not, I can't stop you, right? Or I shouldn't be able to, I don't think. But I get why they do it, because they're like, hey, your safety is trumping this small freedom, right? I don't know. I'm kind of an absolutist with like freedom.
And,
Like, I just let people make that decision. If they don't want to wear a
and
seatbelt, they don't have to. But ultimately, those laws are made to protect other people, right? So when you're like, oh, we're gonna get you back, like, who is you? Like, I didn't attack Iran. You didn't attack Iran. Almost no one alive right now had anything to do with that coup, right? So why does it, you know, you're like, we get to attack you, and it's like, well, we didn't do anything. Yes, the country is fucked up, and that's why I say, like, both sides are wrong. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to just attack people who didn't have anything to do with it and be like, oh, it's your fault that I'm attacking you because of what other people did.
okay, and in that same theory that you just put out there with the seatbelt thing, you got a child and you got an adult, right? So like you said,
Yeah.
a child should be protected. You protect that child, put them in the seatbelt, make sure they have a seatbelt. If you're under 18, you're required to have a seatbelt. An adult don't need a seatbelt. That's fine with me. Now let's put that in a terminology to a certain extent. Let's change the octave to, or excuse me, the optics to a certain extent.
Okay.
A child, protected, loved, cared for, cherished, right? Has nothing to do with anything that's going on other than growing up in this particular country. An 18-year-old, he has
Right.
the ability to join an insurgency, to fight for his country, to do these type of
Excuse
things,
me.
right? So just as much as you want to protect that child, they want to protect their childs too, or their children too. You don't think that those 150 girls were, or those 150 kids, or any collateral damage is valuable? That person that you're trying to get is more valuable.
Of course they're
Yeah,
valuable.
so that's what I'm saying. So they mean something to somebody else. So when you take the initiative to shoot a missile,
They mean something to me.
exactly, and they
Like,
mean something to you. They
right?
mean something to somebody else. They mean something to the people that they're over there with, right? And that's my whole point.
Right, of
That's my
course.
whole point behind
Yeah,
it.
of course I'm way low on the list of, you know, who they mean, you know, importance to, but like, yeah, those, like, any innocent child, like, means something
Yeah,
to me. Like, I don't ever want to see an innocent kid die.
but you
Like you
put them
said,
in.
they don't have nothing to do with this shit.
But you put them in that shit when you shoot a bomb and they die.
Iran?
That's when you put them in that shit. When you say collateral damage don't mean shit, not you. Not,
Oh,
no, no, no,
I
no.
never said.
Not,
Oh,
not,
okay,
you,
okay.
not
I was
you,
about to
not
say
you,
I never
not
said
you.
it.
I'm just saying in general,
Okay.
as again, for me on my side of things, I think we knew what was going on before we shot those bombs. I think if you give the pilots and the people that's pressing these buttons the ability to say, "Hey, man, you're gonna get this guy, this bad guy. He's a terrible, terrible guy. You're gonna get him, but there's 150 kids over there that you might get too." Now, if you, granted, if you hit it in this particular,
I just don't believe they did it.
what?
Not on purpose, at least, knowing that there was kids there. I just don't believe it.
Again, that's what I'm saying. The guy that pressed the button, he doesn't know about. He doesn't know about that. But I'm pretty sure you have intel that this shit is going on. And the reason I say that because I don't think that you shoot that amount of rockets, that amount of bombs, that amount of missiles in that particular location without identifying and knowing for sure that whoever you're trying to get is there. And how do you do that? You have intel that that guy is there. The best way is to have visual eye representation oh, shit, I'm looking at him. He just went in the building. He's going there now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can tell you that based off of what America's done before in Ajax. We're willing to pay people, along with us willing to pay people, the people that they're really at war with is willing to pay people. They're willing to pay people,
Yeah.
and we've already understood that within that country, there's people that's willing to start a coup. There's willing people that accept money to do things, whether it's newspaper propaganda, physical harm to other people, inciting riots in the streets, whatever it is. We understand that those people are in that country and they're willing to do that if you give them enough
Yeah.
money. And what is the best way to start a coup in a country with people that are disenfranchised or have less than? Give them more than. If I give you access to what they
Yeah, America's not even hiding that they're trying to do a coup right now. Like they outright said it. Like, yeah, we are trying to overthrow the regime and have the people
yeah,
take
bro,
over, which would be
bro, this
lovely.
is because we're in that era right now.
Or could be
We're
lovely. Could be lovely. It could
It's
also
gonna
be
be terrible.
terrible.
We're in that era right now where we're overthrowing
I hope
countries,
not.
bro.
I'm
We're
being
stealing
optimistic.
resources and we're overthrowing countries, and that's what we're in. So if you're gonna ride that train or ride that particular plane, if you're gonna do that, do it now because you're already doing it. So if people supported you with the Venezuela shit, do everything you want to do now. It's the best time to do it. Right now, go ahead and do it all. If you want to overthrow any country, if you want to steal anything from anybody, go ahead and do it now. This is the best time to do it. You know who we're going to go ahead and go to Greenland. Go steal all that shit out of Greenland too. Go get all that shit too. Go get it all. Go do it all. Do it all. Do it all right now. It's the best time to do it. Best time. Yeah, man. Best time to do it.
But see, there's not another reason to
No,
attack
we're not
Greenland
trying to attack
to
Greenland. We're trying to
cover
get Greenland as a
to
resource because we need a launching
right.
pad. Because other countries that normally would help us to invade, quote unquote, allowing us to launch off, meaning that we can go from here, like Germany.
We already have that in Greenland. We have bases in
Yeah,
Greenland. I don't understand. Other than resources, there's no reason that Trump wants
yeah,
Greenland.
stealing,
That's my opinion.
stealing.
That would be,
He
but
did it
we're
from
never going.
Venezuela.
Well, I won't say we're never gonna. Well, we haven't stolen any resources. Well, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I'm lying. We did. I said I'm lying. I'm wrong. Well, I'm not lying. I was wrong because I had a mental slip. I forgot we did take that oil. We were like, yep. But as far as like future stuff, we haven't like future production. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It depends on who builds the infrastructure,
Somebody
right?
that's in our pocket, but go ahead. Somebody that's with us, shall I say, side with us.
Right, and it's a lot more friendly to us than Maduro was, and yeah, yeah. Again, the U.S. definitely looks out for itself, and a lot of times they do fucked up shit. I don't. Again, like I feel like the Venezuela thing is very similar to the Iran thing in the fact that, like, yeah, they were doing terrible things to the citizens, and I hope the best for the citizens, and I hope that it's a situation where they can come up. No, hold on, no, let me just finish this. I hope it's a situation where they can come up, but at the same time, when you create a power vacuum, it's very difficult to get good outcomes from it, right? You know, it's hard. So I'm optimistic, and I'm really hoping that Venezuela, Iran, they can take over, and we have some type of like, hey, we're gonna keep shit under together until y'all can transition power or something. I don't know. I hope. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic. Maybe I'm just dumb. But that's what I hope for. Like that's what I would like us to do is, okay, we freed these people. Now they're not being oppressed by, whether it be extreme rules that they had or whatever the case. Um, so let them go back and let them fix themselves and get them, let's help them out. Make sure they don't, get taken by another radical group. But then, then now you're getting into like nation building and years long wars, and we don't want to be a part of that. So I don't know.
So,
I think last thing, real quick. Sorry, I know you
no,
said
go
timeout,
ahead.
but it's the
Go ahead.
last thing. I, I think when we attacked Iran that first time, I think that was kind of like I think any chance we had of them not attacking us in the future was wiped the fuck out with that. Because we were in the middle of negotiations and we attacked. So, in my personal opinion, if you're gonna do that, like, okay, let's finish it right now. Like, why are we gonna stop? You've already attacked them. Like, you didn't take out the nuclear shit. It wasn't totally obliterated, like you said. It was fucked up, but it wasn't totally obliterated. So now we pissed them off. We didn't get our objective. So that's why now I think it's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm hoping it's gonna be a destroy it until there's no military objectives left to destroy, and then we help the people take over and let them handle it, and we step the fuck out within a couple months. Probably not gonna happen, but that's what I hope. But you were saying timeout when I started talking about Venezuela and them, the people. So what were you
No,
saying?
I
Or
was
gonna
just gonna
say?
say you was talking about the people was oppressed, but that's not why we went and got him. We went and got him because of drugs. So whatever oppression that those people was
Yeah.
quote unquote experiencing or are feeling or are going through, that's not the reason why we got him. We didn't get him because he was
Right.
oppressing people.
Just
We got him because of drugs, right?
Right,
So
just
you
just like
can't
with
even.
well, not just like with Iran, but I feel the same way. Like there are morally good, or there could be morally good benefits helping. Like I said last week on the pod, the big kid on the block who's stronger than everyone sees a group over here getting bullied. Like, am I not right to go fucking tell that bully to fuck off and help them kids out? So as us, the big kid on the block, is it not right for us to be like, hey, y'all are fucking murdering people over here for no reason? Now, that's, again, you're right. That's not why we did it. But that's how I look at it. Like, okay, well, was morally, did something good happen? I don't know.
And
That's not the only thing that matters, but that's definitely an aspect
I
of
mean,
it.
I agree, and we're gonna wrap it up here. I agree with you 100%. I think that morally means more than any laws, anything like that, right? Helping the less fortunate is a big thing. You know what I mean? But everybody doesn't have that same heart. Everybody doesn't have that same ideology. Everybody doesn't have that same belief. With that being said, I do, and I'll say this last topic, and I'll let you say your ending piece. But I don't agree with the war at all. I don't think that we handled the war correctly. I think that it could have been handled differently. I also think that we kind of ruined that opportunity for communications. I think that we're at the point right now where, regardless of what communication goes on, Iran's going to be out for blood in any type of facet that they can be. And I'm not saying that they're right or wrong,
Yeah.
but I also kind of understand why
It's
he
under,
would be so angry,
right,
right? So with that being said, I think that
right.
helping I think no child should be in a warlike, war torn, or war environment at all. I don't think that's beneficial for them. I don't think it helps out the greater good of the people, the human being race on Earth, and I don't think that helps out any country at all. Granted, things happen. You know what I mean? And that kid that makes it out of that situation and becomes a steadfast, strong person for his country and stands up for his country, he might be the guy or the gal that pushes his country to independency or whatever. Like certain things need to happen, but I don't also agree with it. I don't think that none of those kids should have died. I don't think any of those American soldiers should have died. I don't think that any of those soldiers should have been wounded.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I just think that this situation could have been handled differently. And towards America, towards this situation. You know what I mean? And that's just my honest to God opinions. Piss poor job by the cabinet. If the information, and that's one thing I seen right before we got on. I didn't get enough time to actually research it up, but that the intel that they were going to preempt, they were going to attack us is flawed information. You know what I mean? And we went off of flawed information, did something that we didn't have to do. Granted, Iran,
That doesn't sound like Trump.
but they still had the ability to attack at any point in time. So could it have been a credible source? Yes. Could it not have been credible? Yes. Based off what I'm hearing, it wasn't
Right.
credible, and we preemptively attacked on something that we that wasn't credible information, right? And that's like me walking up to you because I heard that you was gonna slap me, and I walk up and punch you in your face, all the while you're sticking your hand out. Granted, I'm not saying I ran and sticking her hand out to shake her hand. I'm just saying you're walking up
Yeah.
and nothing intentions on mine. I punch you, and then you attack me and drop a picnic table on my head, and I'm like, oh my God, like you went overboard. It's like, well, you can't tell me what's overboard. And that's my whole point, and I'll let you finish. I mean, say your piece, and then we'll get out of here from there.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough situation. Being 100% for it, I can't say that. Being 100% against it, I can't say that. Um, I don't know. I feel like we've pretty much hit everything on the head. There was something that I was going to say, but I cannot for the life of me remember it. It was like halfway through, and by the time you got to the end, I was like, nope, that's just gone. I forgot. I should have fucking typed it out. But nah, I hope for the best. I don't know. Like I said, I just really hope that the Iranian people can uh, get out of this situation that we partially helped them get into. So hopefully we can help them get out of it. But you were saying something about damn it, I almost had it. Oh well, either way. It was like there for a brief second right there. It was like, oh, he said this, and then it just disappeared. It's gonna piss me off because as soon
I
as we
know.
get
I
off
was
of
just
this
about
fucking
to say.
podcast, I'm gonna be like, this.
Well,
Damn it. That's all right though. I'm a little toasted. So I tend to forget shit all the time, anyways. But when I start drinking or I'm not sober, that shit's out the fucking window, bro. Like it's tough.
ain't no. I drop it all the time too. You know what I mean? Pause. I don't drop it. I drop fucking thoughts all the time. Yeah, man. But hey, you got anything before we get out of here?
Oh
Well,
shit.
KBA work. Shout out to Corey for KBA work. KBA
Yeah,
work.
always KVA works. If y'all got some time, check out the page. If y'all ever want something custom done, I had someone ask for something custom done the other day. I tried to talk them out of it because I didn't think it was gonna look good, but they wanted it, so I did it. Y'all can see it on the page. It's just a little like makeup box or something like that. But the problem is it wasn't real wood. It's like fake with that like
Them over the top of
it
it.
just looked
Yeah.
like wood. So like when I engraved it, that shit just I don't know. It doesn't matter. But either way, check out KBA Works because I'm always doing some random shit. Trying to post a little bit more often now that uh, I got a new dog. So that may not sound like a reason, but he takes up a lot of my fucking time. I don't have no spare time. So I don't know. You were talking about dude talking to you, and getting in your face. What were you saying about the?
Yeah,
Damn it!
man. You were Jesus
No.
Christ.
No, you're talking about like, if you're in my face, you're extending your hand out and I slap you
Yeah.
or whatever. The only difference is in that situation, maybe I'm sitting there not doing anything wrong, but you've also seen me yell, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna do everything I can to murder you and all of your civilians and all that stuff. And then you come up to me like, "Hey, this motherfucker said this." So it's a lot. You have a lot more reason to believe like, no, that sounds like something you would say or do because you was just saying that shit last week, right? Like you sent people to assassinate me. Like that's what you did. There's people arrested right now that were foiled for assassination attempts that were hired from Iran. Like, so
We tried
I
to
don't
kill
know.
their supreme leader. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
again,
that's okay. No,
that's why I say just as bad. Whatever. It went. But yeah.
Yeah, no, but that was the point I was trying to fucking remember the whole time. I was like, I kept remembering like, oh no, how do I word that? Because I didn't want to just say you were gonna slap a guy, and I was like, nah, he's not gonna remember what the fuck I'm talking about. And so,
But
anyways,
yeah, man.
appreciate you having me on, man. I'm gonna finish this drink. The shit was like up to here when I
A
started.
straight liquor, man.
It's
This
just
guy's
straight
crazy.
rum,
Hey,
straight
man.
rum.
Well, appreciate you coming on. Hey, peace and love. Blessings to everybody out there, man.
Yes, definitely. I know y'all probably hate me. It's okay. I love y'all anyways. I promise if you listen to me, you probably hate me
He's
more. So just
not that bad of a guy.
keep it with the shorts,
He's
all
not that
right?
bad of a guy,
No,
man.
I try not to be, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm also wrong. Like, and that's well, it's not
It
okay.
is
I
okay to
guess
be
it is
wrong.
okay.
It's
Everyone's
okay
wrong
to be wrong.
sometimes.
That's another thing. It's okay to be wrong, man. It's okay to say I fucked up. It's okay to be wrong. It's better to say I'm wrong than to say I fucked up. But it's okay to say both of them, right? And to genuinely
Right.
mean it. On side of that, peace and love, peace and blessings to everybody. Hey, man, support those troops out
Sir.
there. Hey, man, keep y'all heads up, brothers.
Big
Hey,
time.
sisters, brothers, people out there, man, I support y'all 100%. Hey, I hope we don't have to go through what we have to go through, but if we do, fuck them up. You know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say. I'll support you. Yeah, yeah. You gotta fuck them up.
Fuck it
But
up.
hey, man, this is T Broski. Got my main man Corey in here. Hey, Bros Talk. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all watching. We out.
Another session with the bros. Bros talk.